Ethereum is ready for a massive pump, and in today's video I will exactly explain to you guys why, based on both the Ethereum chart but also based on a stock that is already ahead of Ethereum, in which Ethereum has been moving the exact same over the past couple of years. Make sure to watch both the analysis and I'll catch you guys there. Let's start off on a weekly on Ethereum, because if this would have been a 1 hourly time frame chart, everyone would be extremely bullish, because what we can see is that Ethereum has currently been reclaiming this massive range low area of the previous bull market range. So we have the previous bull market range where price was finding support once, twice and 3 times right over here for the price of Ethereum before it saw a massive run towards the upside over here towards a brand new all-time high. Now, the end of the first run where we saw a first major reaction, that's where the range high is at. Now what we can see is that we had a first bigger deviation over here on the weekly time frame that was being followed up by a second smaller deviation over here. But the most important part of this second smaller deviation is the fact that it swept major sell-side liquidity beneath those equal lows right over here. While sweeping massive sell-side liquidity beneath the equal lows over here, the price of Ethereum was also filling 50% of this massive wick over here on the weekly time frame as well. So if I mark out that EQ level of that massive wick right over here and I select the EQ level, what we can see is that Ethereum indeed filled it for 50%, saw an amazing bounce towards the upside, and it was doing all of this while it was stepping into that 2017, 2018 previous all-time high level right over here. So there were so many confluences. And afterwards, Ethereum saw a massive reclaim of that very pivotal range low area of the previous bull market range. While doing this, on the daily time frame, we can see that Ethereum was in a local downtrend towards the downside. It was forming lower lows and lower highs right over here. But while getting this massive push towards the upside, the price of Ethereum on the daily time frame gained this very pivotal high right over here. Now by gaining that high, it was breaking structure back towards the upside as well on the daily time frame. And now we know that the daily trend is always leading. So that was another major sign of bullishness by the price of Ethereum as well. But guys, this is not all, because when we remove this higher time frame range over here that I marked out on a weekly time frame, and instead we start identifying the higher time frame range on a daily time frame, what we can see is that we have a massive range low area for the price of Ethereum right over here, and obviously we have a massive range high area for the price of Ethereum over here as well. Now this range has been forming for the past 1.5 years. Once again, what we can see is that we have a massive deviation over here that was confirmed below that range low of that high time frame range for Ethereum. Not only did we confirm the deviation over here, and did we shift structure back towards the upside over here, but at the exact same time, what we can see right now on Ethereum is that while forming this local reaccumulation range over here, the price of Ethereum has seen a deviation below that low time frame range. But while deviating below that low time frame range, what we can see is that Ethereum indeed saw a perfect retest of this range low area over here. Now guys, don't get me wrong, we can still sweep this low right here another time on Ethereum. I'm not saying that we can't see a little deviation again below that range low before reclaiming it and sending it towards the upside. But all in all, both the daily and weekly time frame on Ethereum from a range and market structure and liquidity perspective are all looking extremely bullish, and I think a move towards this range high, which is laying around $4,000 for Ethereum, is imminent. Trade signals, live streams, educational PDFs and so much more is something you can get right now for 14 days for just $1. All that you guys need to do is follow the link in the description down below, join the best community in the trading space, Tribe Capital, and I'll catch you guys there. Now guys, this is the chart that all of you guys have been waiting for. At the top right over here we can see the Ethereum chart on the daily time frame over the past couple of years, and at the bottom we can see the Coinbase chart on the daily time frame over the last couple of years. Guys, now this chart is so extremely interesting to me because they have been following the exact same path on the daily time frame for the past few years. But the difference is that Coinbase over the past couple of weeks has seen a massive push towards the upside over here, all the way from $240 all the way towards $380, aka a 50% increase on a stock like Coinbase, that is obviously a massive move. But what we can see is that it already started over here in January 2024, because this is where massive demand came in on Coinbase over here and on Ethereum over here. And that demand sent both of the charts towards brand new all-time highs right over here and towards a brand new all-time high right over here for Ethereum as well. Afterwards, what we can see is that Ethereum and Coinbase were both seeing a corrective move towards the downside. Also Coinbase, a corrective move towards the downside. Now, important this, guys, is to look at the timing of these charts, because while Ethereum was forming that high over here around March 2024, Coinbase was doing the exact same thing, also forming that high around March 2024. This corrective move was taking place during the exact same time period on Coinbase as it was on Ethereum at the top over here. Now afterwards, both of those charts started forming a reaccumulation range right over here at the bottom for Ethereum, but at the exact same time Coinbase was doing the exact same thing. That reaccumulation range gave us another impulse towards the upside over here on Coinbase, but at the exact same time also on Ethereum over here. And now this is where stuff became very interesting, because both Coinbase and Ethereum afterwards saw an aggressive correction to the downside, taking out the bottom of that reaccumulation range. Also, Coinbase swept the bottom of that reaccumulation range. Now, after taking out that bottom, both have been seeing an aggressive buyback back towards the upside, in which Coinbase is already reaching brand new all-time highs and taking out the December 2024 high. After, once again, a small local reaccumulation range over here on Coinbase, Ethereum has also been seeing that reaccumulation range and is now just lagging behind on Coinbase, where Coinbase was seeing a massive 50% increase. The same increase on Ethereum is bound to happen of approximately 70% towards that range high area over here around $4,000. Ethereum will be playing catch up with Coinbase, because these charts over here are just completely and utterly identical. Now, it would be a shame if at the moment supreme, Ethereum is not going to play catch up for once with Coinbase and is going to continue to lag behind and move lower from here. In my opinion, at the end of the day, trading is all about probabilities. The probability for Ethereum is much higher to actually follow the exact same path as Coinbase and start seeing the next leg towards the upside relatively soon, towards $4,000. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the first link in the description down below and join Tribe Capital, and I'll catch you guys there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao!